umuhungu nimba mfashe mu musatsi, I'm going just to say no. Really? Right. Yes, I will say no. Namfata ku rutugu, I will say no, but not sticking on that no. I will say ariko numbabazi, nkoreho ariko numbabazi.
But this guy will impregnate 6 girls in a row or even more.
Yeah. Hello there, each and everyone, the Table Talk family. We welcome you back to another episode here on our table. Now, as always, we always have very good topics, and here we are again with another very good, interesting question that is already on social media. People are wondering what is really happening, what's been happening, and statistics are already on the ground showing that the figures are increasing. Which figures are we talking about? We are asking ourselves, what's the reason behind the increase in early or unwanted pregnancies? And not just in Rwanda, but in the whole world. Going to different media organizations, we have NBS in Uganda. It's showing that statistics in Uganda are increasing. Coming to Rwanda, we have EGH. It's showing that also statistics are increasing. And we also talk about the global citizen in Kenya, showing us that we also have big numbers coming up. And when it comes to COVID period, it's another point to also discuss. And of course, not forgetting that we have brought you a very good guest from RWAMREC, and also representing the symposium team, which is also another event that is coming on the ground that is going to give us different statistics and talk about each and everything that they are doing as organizations to bring these numbers down. And they will also be able to answer all these questions. What are they doing? More organizations on the ground, new strategies on the ground, but still numbers are increasing. Now, taking this opportunity to welcome our guests first, and that is Murenzi Uwineza Pacific from YWCA, a youth coordinator and also coordinating the symposium in partnership with RWAMREC. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Saifa.
And also not forgetting our very good host, who is also an award winner at Botea 2017, a very good public speaker, and that is Kansime Pretty. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much, Saiba.
So, if we are to talk about this topic in details, generally, Pretty, what do you think is the main thing that is bringing up these numbers? Because back in time, since we were even still in school, we could hear statistics, we could read in the newspaper that numbers are increasing. What do you think is the main point that it brings these numbers to increase?
Thank you very much, Saiba. Like you said, this is a very sensitive issue that has been going on over the years. It has not just started recently, yeah. But the most threatening thing is that numbers are rising on a daily basis, not just in Rwanda, not just in East Africa, not just in Africa, but on a worldwide basis. There are very many reasons that are bringing this in place, but according to my analysis, a lot has been put in place. Sensitization is taking place. We have very many organizations, specifically in Rwanda, we have very many organizations, sensitization in schools. In some schools, they've even introduced sexual reproductive health as topics in school. A lot is being done, but the numbers are gradually increasing. Yeah, what I think is the main problem is sensitization is being done, but not in the right way and not to the right people.
So you think the strategy has a problem?
The strategy through which they're doing this sensitization has an issue. Sensitization is being done, but they're doing the right thing in the wrong way.
Okay. So in detail, we shall have to come to talk about that in detail to see which strategies we really need on the ground, which strategies are already on the ground, and then maybe we see which strategies we really need on the ground, which strategies are already on the ground, and then maybe we see what else can be done on the ground to bring these numbers down. So also coming to our guest, Murenzi Uwineza Pacific from YWCA. Your organization specifically, I think you have very many projects that are already running, and all these projects, most of them are trying to bring the numbers down. Yes. So to you as a representative of YWCA and the symposium team, what are some of the strategies that are on the ground And maybe before that, can you first tell us what is the main reason that you think is bringing these numbers to increase on an annual basis and all that?
Yeah, sure. As in how the course was saying, pretty. She was saying about it, there are some strategies that they are using, but really it's not the right strategy. Like, how can I say this? For example, because I do working in YWC, I work daily every time with young women.
Okay.
But you find when the reason to that is because we start telling them about teenage pregnancies. We start telling them about sexual reproductive health and right at the age when it's let me see, at the age that it's not the right really age.
Okay.
Because I have once read about that adolescent or any child, boys, whether girls or boys, they start being sexually active at the age of 12. But imagine we start telling them about sexual reproductive health and rights so that they can be aware of everything, in order that we can see whether the number of teenage pregnancies can decrease at the age of 18, at the age of 19, at the age of 20. It's when they start telling them about this.
So you think it is already late?
Yeah, it's already late. You can be starting at the age, I was discussing with Pretty, at the age maybe of 9. Then you can start telling the child so that she can be aware of everything. And even about saying substinations, she can know what really to do.
But then when we talk about 9, a kid who is 9, to some point, don't you think some parents will be like, this is early exposure to some content which is not appropriate? Because a kid of 9, there is some information that most parents try to protect the kid from accessing. But nowadays, protecting kids from accessing some information is hard because of internet and all that. So my question is, do you think people will be are ready to expose such young youth to such information? And over the years it has been the case, and when we talk about the COVID period, the numbers are really hyping up. Tell us, what is the cause, generally what is the main cause of this increase in numbers?
Okay, thank you very much, Cyber. The thing that I see when it's really the cause, it's because I do work with young girls and women, but you find when the really ikibazo cy'ingutu, like ari ukuba, there is the silent culture of the parents.
Okay.
Of course, that is the first thing. And also most of them, when we talk to them, you find we start telling them about SRHR, sexual reproductive health and right, at the age when they have so far reached 18, they have so far reached 19. When we could start it at the earliest age, it could be better for them to know more about information, even knowing how can they really access the services of SRHR.
So you think the late access of the information is still a problem?
Yeah, sure. Say, but it's really the problem, because uri gusanga telling them ku myaka ya 18, 19 biri gutuma abimenya sofa harabayemo na teen pregnancies. Ugasanga rero aho kugira ngo twice iki, sinzi ukuntu bajya baca umugani in the proverb of Rwanda, reka tubanze twice first igitero. Let's first kill the thing. Let's talk about really the issue. The issue no kuba bari kubyiga ku myaka iri hejuru. I was talking to Pretty. You find even though there is all these strategies in the schools, where in the churches, everywhere, parents, but arakwicaza abikuganirize ku myaka yawe 18. Yet so far she could start it at the age of, because I once read when we start being sexually active at the age of 12. So studying it kuri earliest age, I think is the best way. Kugira ngo umwana amenye what to take, how to choose one thing.
And then when you talk about such an early age, still the same question, I think it comes up, and we are like, don't you think it is too early for a child to have such information, or to start to tell a kid, this is what you should avoid, you should do this at an age of 9 to 12? Don't you think someone is still young to access such information, or they already even know?
When I talk to these young girls usanga the parents niyo turi kubibigisha on the field, because we work them on the field, Secretary districts, we have some safe spaces for the girls. But you find when they are telling you, some parents are like even complaining, basi uri kubigisha ku bintu by'ibishitani by'ibidayimoni, something like that. But you find kubibigisha se ni iki? Kubibigisha it's for them tubitangiye ahubwo ku myaka ikiri mikeya ni substination no kumenya girls we still have a problem. How can we say no? When cyber for example umuhungu nimba mfashe mu musatsi I'm going just to say no. Really? Right, yes, I will say no. Namfata ku rutugu I will say no, but not sticking on that no. I will say ariko numbabazi nkoreho ariko numbabazi. Ariko namenya gustickinga on that word of no, no only she can decide on her own. Rero bizanatuma she can even take her ways for the decision making and whatever. Rero njewe on my side even I think at the earliest age byaba ari byo sawa kugira ngo umwana amenye where to start, what to do and when to start that thing.
You people already have very many projects that should be working to bring down the numbers. Is there any other thing that you think in the strategy point that you brought up, apart from age, dealing with a specific age or maybe bringing down the age at which we introduce these different campaigns and all that, do you think there is another strategy or any other thing that links up to strategy that should be dealt with?
Absolutely. I think there's another area in the strategy line again that should be tackled. But before I get to that, to supplement slightly on what Percy was talking about, like she was saying, I think it's better that we introduce this to our kids and the young generation at an early age, because anyway they're going to access this information and they might access the wrong information, because by 7, by 6, a kid has a phone, he has a laptop, there's internet, there are peers at school and all that. He has friends. So anyway, they're going to access the information. So isn't it better if they get the right and healthy information at that early age, so that they know that at this time, when I reach at this point of my life, I'm going to meet such challenges. How will I handle them?
Do you think a kid at 12, let's say combining it with the age that she just talked about, do you think at the age of 12 a kid is able to decide at what time he will use specific information? Because you are going to introduce that type of information. Of course, as we all know, at 12, 13, 9 there, someone is able to access internet to get all this other false information also, because the internet has a lot. Now, he has two types of information on the table. Is this kid really in position to make a decision and say, this is wrong, this is right, and let me put this aside maybe? Or maybe they will take it up and say, you know something, let us do some practical.
That's what I was talking about. If we let them access information from internet and friends and peers, it will be hard to decide what's wrong and what's right. You know, but a child knows that there's no way a parent is going to sit them down and start telling them information that is going to harm them or information that is wrong. If the child is getting information from their parent or guardian, they're sure that what they're getting is, you know,
so still,
most of the times they'll stick to that because he knows or she knows and she trusts that a parent cannot give them information that is wrong or that is going to harm them.
So you also you can continue and also tell us about another strategy apart from
that's where I was heading. Now another loophole in the strategy that is being used to sensitize young people about sexual reproductive health and specifically about early teenage pregnancies is that they focus on one gender. They focus on the girls specifically.
That's a big point.
A very big point. Yeah, they're telling the girls what to do, what not to do, like she was saying, when to say no, but they're not talking to our boys. They're not talking to the gentlemen who are actually impregnating these girls. You know,
at a very faster rate than
at a very faster rate. Like you said, a lady or a girl or a woman will carry on with her pregnancy for 9 months, and during that period she cannot get pregnant again until she gives birth to the first to the child. But this guy will impregnate 6 girls in a row or even more. So they're living out this they're living out the male gender, and they're only sensitizing the girls. I'm not saying they switch to the male gender. I'm just saying, since this involves both parties, I think we should sensitize
I think that's a very good point. I think there are most of the organizations or most of the projects that you have on ground, different organizations that we have seen bring up different projects or strategies that they are using on the ground. They are more sensitizing the female, yes. But when we look at that problem, adding on what you just said, the person who causes more harm at such a rate is the one instead who is being ignored to some point. They are not ignoring them 100%, because we have organizations like RWAMREC. I think they try to bring in men, they engage men and all that, more of the female. Yes, if we have more of those projects on the ground, we have, they call the cybers, they call the males and all my friends, then we have the information. I think it's better, because now the person who can be able to impregnate 6-7 young girls maybe in a period of 2-3 months, if he's in states, then that number goes down.
Yeah, I think even on what Pretty was saying, there is also some research, CLADO also, it's an NGO for the human rights, even child protection, exactly, it's when they focus on. There is also research they made about the teenage pregnancies, whereby, as what Pretty was saying, they are being given pregnanted by their colleagues. The research on Katie Press is on, you find that 79% they have been they are their colleagues who pregnant.
79% of the teenage girls.
Yeah, you find when the teenage pregnancies that is here around, you find when it's 79% they are their colleagues, and you find when 18% they are the neighbors, they are the family members, close people just around, and you find they can't even report those cases because they know it's my uncle who has pregnanted me. If you are going to put the family outside,
they settle it in the family and it gets
done. And you find when you keep quiet because it's your uncle has seen that really I have a young sister, he pregnanted me, they are quiet and we are quiet. Tomorrow he's the one coming back again and to pregnant again my sister. You find when they think when you make it like the culture of silence, you find when it kills a lot of things. Whereby you're gonna find when also there is the GBV cases and whatever. Yet the perpetrators are just there, just sitting around and just watching. And you find at what also she was saying, adding on, you find when we engage also the boys to tell them you're gonna be responsible at the age of 15. Really, there are some goals that you're gonna miss out because you will have the responsibilities of taking care of the kid. You will find when even the life of that girl is there is the dropout from school, everything. So also when we engage also the boys, I think it can be really the nice approach so that we can see whether it can really decrease. Okay,
so on talking about that now, we've looked about the age. We also talked about the different strategies that are on the ground. Now you think, if we bring up the age and we say maybe let us have from 9 to 12 being sensitized, yes, up to wherever, because I don't think sensitization has a limit. Because if different old people are still going down there and looking at these young girls and like in Kinyarwanda they say kubashuka, and then they do everything that they are doing, yes, because he's young, the other one is old. Sometimes it's because of this intimidation thing. He's intimidated to say no and all that. So if we bring all that into place, do you think these numbers can go down? Or maybe these projects are not really sensitizing enough to bring the numbers down, even if we bring in such factors?
Okay, hari ikintu numva nagereka because you find when tubitangiye at the earliest age as possible. Really, umwana nkuko Piti yabivugaga muri iki gihe, you have even emphasized on that for the introduction. During this COVID-19 n'imibare yariyongera utukubera iki bari bafite tablets and computers knowing that they are being studied, yet they are not studying. Ahubwo afite ibintu ari kureba yarangiza kumva ko yanabikora in practice, ugasanga n'umubyeyi ntamwegereye wenda ngo arebe following up what is the kid doing at home. Bari bafite tablet bari kwigira mu rugo, computers, what is he researching on, kugira ngo anamwegera mubwire ati nubwo hari internet uri kwigira online, but really ibi nibi anamwegera abimubwire kuri ya age iri ari as possible.
So should we say that even parents have contributed to the increase in numbers?
Why not? None se niba atara following the app yagiye amukubita computer, just take the computer, this is the internet, nishira ujya umbwira, ariko umwana afite ibindi abigize gute. Right now the technology is high kandi abana bari kuyaccessinga usanga ari ya myaka ikiri no hasi.
Yeah, they are sensitizing us to use the internet, I think.
Yes, noneho n'ikindi kuba umwana azabibona, yes azabibona, noneho yumve ko yanatryinga no kugira gute no kubigerageza, ariko wa mubyeyi amwicisha akamubwira ati you know what, you will meet this and this on internet. Hariho ibintu byinshi n'indirimbo zateye ziri hanze ngaha, ni ibintu byinshi byose uzabibona uzabicamo, ariko the thing is like this, try to work like this. Noneho narangiza namwereke even the services that SRHR provides, harimo even amakuru yo ku buzima bw'imyororokere abimwigishe. When you go in your MPs there are some things, kandi n'ikindi njye nakuze rwose babimbwira akambwira ati wazanye ibishishi mu maso, pimples, ariko nuryamana n'umuhungu this is gonna not come back again. Kandi of course girls will need beauty. Noneho ndagerageza kubitryinga kugira ngo ndebe ko izo pimples ntazizana mbengwe hano hanze. Ni ibintu rero birimo birazamuka, ugasanga umukobwa kandi n'ikindi za peer groups, peer groups ziranganga ni ibindi bintu arahita akubwira ati uzi ibintu biriho, in order to access this banza ukore this. Ngiye nambona nagakweto nta nubwo ari bumenye ukuntu nakabonye biri, kandi ngewe nshobora kuba wenda nkorangirane nka accessing, ariko arahita kwereka the shortcut. Ikindi n'abakobwa nanone hano hanze that we have the thing, arabona ko ngiye mfite ikimero is the thing that will make me to go, cyangwa se nicyo kizatuma surviving on this world. Iturufuye arayigira ikimero, yirebe abone ati I'm really very beautiful, I can use this in order to survive on this world. Ariko really,
so if you talk about all that, should we also link up to a point and say maybe poverty is also contributing to all that? Because it means someone is lacking a few needs and then he's like, how do I access this? What do I use? He doesn't have money to invest in.
Poverty also, it's among the things that is really causing the teenage pregnancies. Kuko chera nibyo njya kuvuga, even last time I was on TV saying this, the thing that is only trending of this around, even the parents nato basigaye basubiza mu mwana, ugasanga I'm asking my parent, mom, can I get also that bag? Instead of kunsubiza in a very good way, in a parenting way, arita nsubiza in a harsh way because we are poor, arita nsubiza ubusura bona nakibona, ariko there is a kind of way ababyeyi ba kera reka wenda bari ko mbivuga kuko ariko twakuze. Ababyeyi ba kera yarakubwiraga in a calm way, just really go to school, nuzana amanota ya mbere, when you come, when you are the first, I'm gonna buy for you this, ukagenda ukanabiharanira, ukamakinga sure ko nakari akabaga nubwo ukabonye ariko wagize gute wagastrugglingiye wagakore waje, you first bring the first numbers in class, warangiza the parents give you that. Ariko in this way aramusubiza in a harsh way, amusubiza in a rude way. No, even another thing, njyewe mbana n'abakobwa every time usanga hari urukundo aba yarabuze from the parent. Urwo rukundo narubura from the parent, saiba ukanya approaching ukambwira ati pursue this and this, really I'm gonna fall for you, kandi ngo fallingira ikintu cyose uzanyereka I will be sure ko icyo ngicyo ari cyo koze wanyeretse urukundo. Icyo kintu ntabwo kizatuma njya kure y'ibyo umbwira byose, uzanambwira let's do this, it's okay, nihazamo even consequences and circumstances, I will really look after you, nzakubelivinga kose ufite uko wanya approaching rwa rukundo naburiye mu babyeyi nkarukubonera.
Okay, so in simple terms what you're saying is that the parents contribute one to not providing the need, and when we try to, maybe if the female tries to get her basic needs, then the approach of the parents or the response is not usually as polite as it should be, and then it stimulates someone to go. What do you say about that poverty?
Yes, I think I'll agree with that. Poverty is one of the many reasons that is really bringing about the rise in these teenage pregnancy levels, because not everyone is privileged to grow up in a family where they have everything they need, and not everyone is taught to grow up content with what they have. Yeah. Yes, some people are challenged by that. Why? Like she said earlier, there's peer pressure. There's social media.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
if I
actually,
go on
that point.
Instagram, yeah, and I look through photos of
You see
girls who
that
are my age,
dress
the
and you're
dress,
like-
the bag, the hair, the nails, and all that, and I'm going to want that. And like there
So
is-
should we stop
yeah.
people from using social media as
No-
in the youth? Should
not
we
really.
sensitize them not to?
We can't stop them. That's something that we cannot do.
Yes.
But this is going to get me to the point that I wanted to bring on board. I'm going to come back to the parents. Now, parents have been complaining that work.
Yeah.
They're busy with
They are
work.
busy.
They can't get time. I'm working for you. It's you I'm working for, and all that. We have been in a we went in a lockdown for more than a month.
We inform the youth, those who are not yet informed, they know. At this age, you'll be allowed to do this, and it will be even better. But at this time,
ikindi abakobwa nabonye twigirira njye ndaba mfite WhatsApp, ndaba mfite smartphone, nigire kuri Instagram ndebe utwenda tugezeho ariko really not accessing the right information. Reka ngire ikintu nkoresha kandi mbone na information iri equipped y'ibyo yamfasha kugira ngo mbone na goal yanjye. Let me not check about Kim Kardashian no munsi yambaye ibiki, Nuza yambaye ibiki, ahubwo menye ese about SRH ko nirwa numva bayivuga what is really needed. Ikintu abahungu akenshi baturusha nge nkunda no kubigarukaho, baraturusha gushaka kumenya buri kimwe cyose no gushaka gutrainga everything that is around the world. Ariko twebwe abakobwa we are just there calm, ndumva ko hari umuntu ndimo da dependingaho ariko sinda ku dependingaho for how long? We ntabwo uzageraho ukamaga, ese nunkoresha icyo ushaka kunkoresha ntabwo uzageraho ukanjugunya. Really? Hari ibintu dukeneye njyewe for the short messages kuko ibi ni topic n'ejo bundi muzongere mubitegure, ni ibintu umuntu yahora avuga bukira bugacya, ariko for the short message njye numva natanga nuko we engage the parents as we were saying, kandi let the parents have not this culture, the silent culture thing. Bamenye ko ibintu byahindutse, let them accept the reality.
There might be a parent who is watching us right now. Just look straight in the camera and tell that parent.
Dear parents, the thing is like this: accept the reality that is happening and accept ko we are turi muri monde iri kwirukanka. We are in the world of technology. We are in the world that we have a lot of things. Ibyo mwahuye nabyo ntabwo ari byo twe turi guhura nabyo. So accept the reality. Mwemere ko turi mu bihe twebwe dufite ubushize barabivuze kuri radio ngo dufite ibirura byinshi hano hanze, mu byemere kandi approach the kids. Mwumve ko ahubwo nimba utazi ukuntu mwa approachinga, try even to know nka YWCA we work with young women, wazuka twa approachinga with RWAMREC, yes, kandi bo banengagingamo even men. Rero come approach the NGOs, umenye nuko wakegera umwana. Ikindi ndi bugaruke horahita nta kitakoze ubuse barayishyira no muri curriculum barajya no kubyiga, ariko for real hari ibintu hano hanze baba badukorera twe tukabifata for granted just like that, tukabona ko ari ibiraho bitakureba, ariko really use the opportunities. Ikindi nka NGOs, let them work together, let them bahuze imbaraga aho kugira ngo duhore muri duplication. Njyewe nka YWC nimba turi gukora kuri ibi, ejo haje indi NGO ikoze kuri ibi, duhuze imbaraga ahubwo tubikorere hamwe. Icyo gihe the solution will be at least even the result will be huge more than nje nka YWC nkuko twabikora, aho kugira ngo mbikore ndumwe twabikora turi benshi kandi imbaraga zakiyongera. Ikindi ndi bugarukeho nuko the symposium, yes, thank you.
Have to come.
Also for the symposium, ni symposium izaba ku itariki 10 to 12 of November. During this COVID-19 nago tuzahostinga abantu benshi, ubundi bari kuba hosted in convention center, ariko baza hosted muri Lemiga Hotel. Gusa tuzaba dufite number inoya ihagije, ariko mu byukuri we will also be using virtual. Please, the youth that are here outside, birakureba birandeba, we will be talking about different topics: SRHLR, feminism, transformation. Harimo ibintu byinshi we need to learn as youth. Rero dufite technology hano hanze, ama computers arahari, internet ewe sinakubwira sinzi ibihari byinshi, ariko really bari kuza accessinga. Rero reka tuza accessing for something that we will use in the future coming time. Rero tuzaba turi no gukoresha virtual, yitwa Ubuntu Symposium. You can tweet, you can do whatever, #Ubuntu Symposium. kugira ngo tugire byinshi tuganira nk'urubyiruko. Ni urugendo rukomeza up to June, rero ndumva ko hari byinshi twabibyaza mu musaruro.
And of course, thank you to each and everyone who has been following us here on the Table Talk Show today on this very good episode. And of course, not as I recap, let's first thank our very good guest Murenzi Uwineza Pacific from YWCA, and of course coordinator at the symposium in partnership with RWAMREC.
Thank you very much.
You really gave us the right statistics, and not just in Rwanda, I think the whole of East Africa were very much informed. Thank you very much for all that.
Thank you.
And going of course to my very good co-host who also did a good job today. Thank you very much for being part of the show
It's always a pleasure.
and doing the best.
Thank you.
So, and of course, as we proceed, thank you. I would like to thank each and everyone that has been following all our social media platforms, our Twitter, our Instagram, people who like our posts and people who are keeping up with following, sharing our posts. That is very good of you. And also our Twitter, the engagement. We shall be engaging on each and everything. We are going to be sharing all the links about the symposium, the link to attend the virtual, the whole virtual thing that will be taking place, because all the people won't be able to attend, but virtually you can still attend. So we shall share all the information. You can still follow YWCA or RWAMREC social media platforms to get all this information. And keep up with the Table Talk Show, subscribe and press the notification button to keep in touch. Let's keep up the engagement in the comment section. Thank you very much. Keep following us.